Mr. Alok Mishra is a business lead Power Grid Asia Pacific DNV. He has more than 12 years of experience in the energy industry. As a business lead in DNV, he is responsible for the power grid business in the Asia Pacific region.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alok Mishra from DNB. Before going to on the topic, I will just take few minutes to introduce DNB. Might be most of the people don't know about the DNB. Yeah, so DNB is almost more than 150 years old Norway-based company. We have globally presence around more than 100 country. And more interesting part about the DNB that we used to invest 5% of our total revenue in the R&D. And we are in many business area, like ship and offshore wind, energy advisory, management certification, and apart from that, we have our own software platform. And one of our old companies, Kima, was the earlier part of the DNB. Apart in power grid business, we are uh, do power system study. We do the transmission and distribution technology, which is more on the grid side. Apart from that, we are also have the asset management services and digital solution where we are talking about the SCADA, EMS, and other things. And the whole business value chain will be managed by the energy market and strategy. On from project portfolio side, we are in the feasibility study, we are in the development also. I mean, we are the DNB here with the through across the value chain. We are also in the storage where we have our first uh, energy storage lab, and we have the many standard where uh, utility and many other are following that. We are in the also electric mobility sector where we have our own two test lab based out on USA and Norway. So now I'm coming about the topic. Our colleagues previously talking about the upgradation of utility. But one of the major key aspects is the asset management about that. And asset management, a part of a grid, a part of the, uh, I would say, a complete power sector value chain. Either we talk about the generation, transmission, and distribution also. This is something uh, I would say at present situation, more especially to India, we asset is not managed, we are not managing the assets, most of the cases assets managing us. And I'm coming to the next slide where I would try to prove that the way we are managing our assets, how much they are really reliable and how much that is able to work in the future situation. Before going to asset management, I would like to take two difference between, like as first is like to talk about asset, and also I would like to talk about the asset management with respect to the many other standard. Like asset is a item, thin entity that have potential and actual value of organization. This is the common definition, a standard definition for the asset. The same way the asset management as per the SIGRE is a, they are talking more about the key decision maker and maximize the long-term profit from the asset. So when we talk about the asset, here I will more, I would like to talk more especially to transmission and distribution assets, where as a utility, as a owner of asset, do we have the answer of such question? Like we know what is the condition of my whole asset, how they are, at what presence they are. Do we really know how and when to use the limited resource and budget? Because almost, more specific here, I would like to talk about the DSO. DSO always had a budget constraint, and that budget constraint should also reflect when they are going to manage their asset. So that limited budget, do they really know where I need to be really invest with respect to the asset management. And also, like Argwasal in morning said, when he want to be go for some analysis, he didn't get the data. So like same thing where, because data is also one part of the asset. I would like to that whether asset data to we need to data and why, where we our asset data are. And also we are have the many where resource constraint. I will resource mean I would say really qualified resources. How many qualified resources crunch? And I believe most of the power sector is facing a huge resource, talented resource in the market. Also, like when we talk about transmission and distribution, this is a very huge asset. Do we really know where my risk zone and where at least not exactly but added probability where there is a risk? And also, do we know where do we really need to further with in between the loss of assets? Do you know how to minimize unplanned downtime? And more especially to the distribution, because we looking for the power. Our previous panel talked about 24 into 7 power. So do we really know where uh, we have the planned outage and unplanned outage with respect to the DSO? Do we face replacement web? Yes, so. And how we make conscious decision with respect to the asset? And in the last, I would also add, see how asset data support we are using for the decision making. This all aspect we think about what to do, what intervention, and when assets and where are. So I talk about the man, about the we are not managing asset, we are asset managing us. In most all the utility when we come to the O&M part, yeah, when we talk about the maintenance, yeah, predictive and whatever we are always in hurry. And the basic reason behind that, asset is managing us. We are the way the system should be. It is not in the place somewhere. I know we had some of the utility, more especially in India, so they are very good performing. But still, do they feel that they are really proceeding the asset management? They have all the check marks when we talk about the asset management. So when we talk about the managing asset and asset management, managing asset is systematic response to the problem. Like we are responding to the problem, we are not coming the risk out of the problem. And we talk about the proactive planning to maintenance and replacement. Now, when we talk about the asset management, comprehensive asset management, we talking about the comprehensive organizer strategy to meet the top line challenge and goal. Like here the meaning of top line challenge, like the management we fish about the company perspective where the asset, if they are really claim that we need to be 99% grid availability, do we really able to maintain from that? And the way to maintain those standards, how much we are going to fulfill that? And second point that we have solid approach to different funding stream like CAPEX and OFES. Determine how asset create optimal value to the organization. Also about balancing risk, cost, and performance of the grid level. And last one would be the collaboration behavior internally, which we the support chain. I put one barcode. If you go, if it's possible to extend, you can go more about the asset management, about the what it as an organization can be do. So now I'm talking about the more specific to the distribution perspective. And more especially because our distribution, we have to be accept that most of the distribution company in India is not in the good shape. And based on that, I just try to bring my experience with the out of India with respect to the Indian discom. And I felt this four major point. Like predictive maintenance, we don't follow generally in the DSO. we wait to fail the equipment, and then we rush to change the equipment. Secondly, the SS overloading. We have now lots of SADA and other technology we are using, and but still there is a lot of path and lots of area there where we are not able to really monitor the our asset performance. And I believe once we will perform that asset those area, we will always feel that those assets are always overloading. Third point is we don't have any proper management, especially on the tier 2, tier 3 and the remote area villages about congestion management. And fourth point is we don't have long-term grid planning. Now I'm talking about asset management. Now I'm coming to talk about what asset management means, what are the standards for the asset management. So generally, as per the regulatory aspect, we used to be follow ISO 55000 as the asset management, and presently that it is managed by TC 251. Uh, Till now, it published this standard under direct responsibility of TC 251. Five and still five standard under development about this. 35 participation members are there and 21 observing members were there. In out of that, I would say most of the ST is Canada and Australia. And the main reason for Canada and Australia is that as per their regulatory norm, they must be go for ISO 55000 certification. More especially, all DSO must be certified for ISO 55000. That's the reason more people are from there. Now I will talk about the journey of ISO 55000. So in 1990, the oil and gas engineer come together and they talk about the integrated risk into management decision making. Basically, they just inspired by the ISO 19000, and they want and they feel that there is a need of a particular standard about the asset. We should more talk about the asset, because when we talk about the ISO 19000, it's more especially talking about the all the things. It can be complied anywhere, but it's one more they are talking about the with respect to the electrical asset. Then in the next step, in 2004, there is one standard published called PAS 55001, and it was published by BSI. Again, they will revise one, and in 2008, after 4 years, they go with the PAS 55 -1 and PAS 55. History PAS 51 more talking about the specification of the asset management physical asset, and 52 point -2 was the guideline for the application, which they talk about 55-1. Now in 2014, the ISO released the ISO 55001 and 55002. In 2018, they released the ISO 55000 issue as a revised form. Again, IEC Technical Committee 123 start working on the management of network assets in the power system, because till now they believe that whatever guideline come, it's going to be irrelevant in the coming technology, the way power system is changing. Now in 2009, they again talk about a new addition to the ISO 57000 series added in the ISO 55010. And today ISO committee, it more going to be, I hope by next year it will become that 55010, which will more relevant to the power sector. So in the source, I would like to summarize about that. Till now, there is three standard: ISO 55000 2014, 18, and 19. Where 55000 2014 more talking about the overview principle of the asset management. Where 2018 more mostly talking about the guideline. And in 19, in the next year, they release about the guideline along with the financial and non-financial asset. So as for uh, uh, present asset management, when we compare with the utility, this was they uh, they mainly focus on the 7 major aspects about the asset life cycle management, sustaining the risk management, asset data quality analysis, O&M, condition based performance, knowledge infrastructure, monitoring and evaluation. Now, with respect to need of asset management, so if we talk why we need a asset management in our system, I'm going to be tried in the 3 main things, and with the present more specific to distribution again, because all the companies which are in the distribution business, they are setting some KPIs, key performance indicator for their business, and one of that is accuracy of supply, quality of supply, safety of the supply. Apart from that, there is the impact of regulation and compliance. Like we know, government of India looking quarter 24/7 power supply each and every place. It's not between the tier 1 city, yeah, capital, yeah, remote areas. They are looking for complete 24/7 power across the India. Now also about the consumer certification, because uh, I hope soon there will be the law where all, if any DSO not able to provide power to the consumer purchase, they can then consumer can be claimed uh, any cases or yeah anything to on the DSO. And also about the sustainability, because if we talk about the DSO, their main business is selling the power. If they are not able to sell the power, they are not able to earn also. So that is the core KPI, impact of the core KPI for that. And in there is also a distinct challenge and opportunity, I would say also, like data and process and standardization. If we go to the any remote substation, either it is transmission or distribution, I, I'm not sure we will really get all the data which we support to take at that particular substation. And this is the challenge more especially the distribution, because we not able to find the right data also. Quality, I mean, that is the problem with the medium level city, where we will not able to find the right quality of data also. Sorry. Now, improve interoperability. That is the requirement between the different solution and new renewal to improve the existing monitoring and control function and allow real-time calculation and simulation, which is something is going to become a new business, yeah, new thing for the India. Already we are, but still we are need to go more ahead with the real-time business. But I believe this is going to be a more advanced version of that. Third is about the data. So to get the real quality, data going to be help in the many way, and it will be also going to help improve the business and sometime in decision making also. New data, digital technology, we just talk about SADA, EMS and many other things. So this new technology to be infused to the core process to the company and improve the development and resilience improvements also. So our priority is at present is we talk about the meet the new demand like EV and other things, and also we are looking for 24/7 power. So this all the aspects we need a proper asset management guideline from the for the system. So this is some of the example of our present distribution asset, where we can see across anywhere. It's not about remote place, yeah, urban or rural. We can see the similar situation across the India, and we feel that like in the last picture we saw transformer is just laying. So it is not asset management just the building the new asset. It is also talking about the decomposition of asset. How we can decompose the old asset, uh, those assets not going to be used. So at present situation, I would say our asset we are monitoring based on the two things. One is the technical solution and second is the cost. But there is no granted of the quality of performance. Like whenever we feel that there is an issue with the asset, our engineer supposed to go there, they solve the issue and they come back. But we never analyze that problem and with respect to the what sort implementation, like if this got assets fail, if we do the analysis of cost and we can if just a small we can add a small preventive maintenance and we can calculate the cost, like we get, so there is a huge gap in with that. Then we have to be see the performance of that. So when we talk about the without asset management guideline, yeah, with asset management, I would say that is the impact from 2D to 3D, where we talk about the CPR, cost, performance, and risk. When we talk about that, means what going to be cost about that, what would be the performance, and based what would be the risk, and out of that we will try to get the value out of that. So at basis of asset management, with the presently the issue driven. When we have the issue, people go at the site, go to the asset and resolve that one. And based on the analysis, we drive the backward data support. So present focus on to running the business risk reduction. We are just taking the experience with decision making. Means our decision are sometimes very subjective too. It's not based on the assets. Also, we have the fragmented data quality issue and various formatting. Like there is a loss of issue with one substation to the another substation, yeah, from one asset to the another asset. And also we don't means we have the issue with the long learning cycle. However, as one asset management, we build the, I would say, more organized decision making process where we can really think about our data, our asset, based on the many other aligned decision making process. We can get the real-time insight to the condition and performance, integrated of asset and operation, use of the line like all the smart technology in the better way. So this is the basic aspect of the asset management where they are talking about that. And it is three parts I would like to, I think this is the best picture for us with Indian content, where we feed the input from the customer, from relation, investor and commercial aspect. And those input put to the management organization structure. Based on that, we take do the PDCA cycle of the asset. Like I'm taking an example. We have a one problem at the particular location. When one engineer go at the site, they resolve the issue, and they feel that this is not a asset issue. This was the installation issue happened in the past, and because of that, that asset got fail. So do we have really process as presently where that engineer come to the office, fit to the site, fit to their upper engineer, senior engineer, and they can change the installation process, as especially those particular location. See, this is not a fit for that. So based on that, that organizer strategy then do the planning, and based on the organization and people enable, they get the strategic asset management, get the assessment decision making, and this enable us to know their asset in the better performance. And based on that, they will get the risk and review, and this all experience will go to the PDCS cycle where they do always plan, do check activity on that. So here I would like to conclude my myself on that. The asset management life cycle is based on the two things. One is the asset life cycle, and second is the PDCA of for the continuous improvement. So, a failure it can occur at the last part of the cycle, but the sorry, but the continuous improvement we can do the uh, do the continuous improvement here. And the conclusive asset management with Indian term is the top, I would say top down approach, where management take the decision and that slowly prove to the site level, and again it go to the site level to the feedback to the upper management. So it is a complete life cycle of the asset and feed from the money from the higher level to headquarter to the site and site to headquarter.